Alright guys, welcome back to some more Umineko. When they cry, back here on the boat, I'm guessing on the way to Rokkenjima to have another murder spree by Beato. And we're gonna have to solve some more locked rooms, more red truths, and yeah, here we go. We're used to the formula at this point. Or maybe we're gonna have a twist, maybe not, I don't know. We're starting off here with Rudolph. Pretty often that Rudolph gets a spotlight during the start of an episode here, so you see here he's going, sheesh, Aneki's hatred of cigarettes is a real pain in the neck. Maybe, I don't know. She hates cigarettes apparently. Eva, I'm guessing. Aneki, older sister. Rudolph only has one older sister, so that's Eva. If he was talking about Kraus, he would have said Aniki, because that's older brother. So yeah, see that? Minor Japanese knowledge from me there. Nah, actually, we also have the tip section in the visual novel actually help us out to decipher that. But thankfully, I already knew what those words meant, thanks to well, okay, y'all get the point. Alright, now if I say why, you guys will be tired. You guys will be tired of me mentioning the same series over and over. So I'll shut up. All right. But yeah, we're back. Apparently, Eva hates cigarettes. Yeah, let's just keep it going. Last time we learned a little bit of Beato's past, actually, which was kind of shocking. I didn't expect to learn more about Beato so early, I guess. So early, but yeah, we learned a little bit about her master, and how she wanted to achieve eternal bliss, and that Beato would have to work really hard to get to that point. And her master was also called Beatrice, I just want to say. So I'm just gonna guess that similar to Bernkastel and Lambda Delta, that that Beato, the current Beato, also had a human name. You know, she was a human back in the day, and she became a witch eventually, and that's when she gained the name Beatrice. Just like how Rika went to Bernkastel and Satoko went to Lambda Delta. By the way, about the whole Satoko going to Lambda Delta thing, I have gotten some comments about that since I uploaded that. People telling me that it's been very vague and ambiguous between Satoko and Takano, actually, from Higurashi, also from Higurashi. You guys should know if you've seen Higurashi. Now, in my case, I never imagined Takano being Lambda Delta ever, especially after seeing her design and her behavior. I never imagined that. That never even came to my mind. I didn't even think of it as a possibility until people mentioned it in the comments. But apparently, Higurashi Go and Sotsu were created, or at least the writer wanted to make it clear that, hey, by the way, Lambda Delta is actually Satoko. Just remember that. So that was kind of weird. Sure. Well, I guess we'll stick with that then. However, I think for the most part, since we're disconnecting the canons of the two stories, like I said, I'm disconnecting the canons of the two stories, but I'm not disconnecting the characters. Alright, I've already established this in the Unhuman Party, so that's fine. And yeah, apparently the theory was that Lambda Delta was Takano in her younger years, before she became an orphan, I believe it was. It has actually been a while since I watched Higurashi. It has been years, like at least 4 or 5 years since I watched Higurashi. I think I watched it 2015. Oh wait, that's actually 7 years ago. Oh my god, it's been that long. Yeah, I think so. I think it's been a while since I watched Higurashi, so I don't remember the details of every character, unfortunately. Higurashi Go definitely reminded me of characters that we haven't seen in a long time, like that guy that came from the other town next over to Hinamizawa. Reminded me of that. Like I said, I might one day play Higurashi as well. I'm currently reading Umineko, but I might one day get to Higurashi's visual novel as well. But who knows? Who knows? I mean, that's in the distant future, considering this. I mean, we're still in episode 3. It's gonna take us a while to get there, so let's put our focus on Umineko for now. Yeah, I think I've mentioned everything I wanted to mention. I've recapped last part fairly well, I think. Have I? Yeah, it's just. Oh yeah, and I guess I could say the 7 stakes, tortured Battler, but Battler has some strong willpower, so he's okay. And yeah, happy days. we won't give up, and we'll solve the mysteries, or at least we'll try our best to do so. I'm sure Battler will solve. I won't. Oh yeah, by the way, um, regarding the anime, I got another comment regarding the anime of not of Higurashi, of Umineko. Apparently, the anime adapted up until episode 4 of Umineko. We're currently on episode 3, so we're halfway to being done with episode 4, I guess. Well, halfway there. So once we're done with episode 4, I have free reign to check out the anime scenes and see how different things were animated, because I really want to see the scene where Battler smashes Beato's head on the table. I really want to see that animated, but I'm obviously not gonna look it up for spoiler reasons. So yeah, I guess we'll finish this episode and episode 4. Then I wanted to check out some Umineko anime clips. Apparently they didn't adapt the last half, at least episode 5 to 8. So yeah, I mean that's unfortunate. Apparently also the anime was rushed anyway. I think it was rushed. It didn't fully expand on the visual novel story properly. Kind of sucks that a lot of visual novels don't get the most proper anime adaptations. But oh well. I do actually want to mention I've talked about how I have a friend that got me into Umineko, right? And how that friend was told me that Umineko was great and that I should get into it. That friend, fun fact, I guess I should say, that friend started Umineko originally with the anime. So he watched the entire anime before reading the visual novel, right? Because he watched the anime and then he was like, ah, and then he read the visual novel and then he told me that yeah, the anime is a much worse experience. I mean, the visual novel is the way to go for sure. And then I asked him about how. Well, he didn't tell me that the anime adapted the first 4 episodes, but when I talked up to him about the anime, I asked him about whether it spoiled a lot of the visual novel for him, and he said like, yeah, I mean, I had a lot of things revealed for me, or some of the things were revealed, but he's also said that part of the fun experience of it was also to see it all happen over again, and there were things obviously that were skipped over in the anime that the visual novel apparently went more in depth on, according to him. So, which I guess is fair. Apparently, Mineko is a very rereadable visual novel, is another thing. So maybe that's why a lot of you guys who have already read the visual novel are sticking with me here. Yeah, but yeah, there's that. So there's a little fun fact that my friend began with the anime and then read the visual novel. I began with the visual novel right away. I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, we're only a quarter of the way through, so we haven't gotten that far yet, but we'll keep reading and we'll get further along as we go. Alright, here we go. Anaki's hatred of cigarettes is a real pain in the neck. Alright, let's go. Let's get started up.
すまんな。夕べからカリカリしとるんや。気にせんでやってくれんか。
Rudolph and Hideyoshi went out onto the deck and took out some cigarettes. They're both smokers, but Eva isn't into that. She just hates it. I mean, for me, I guess if we're inside, you might as well go out. If I don't smoke, by the way. I think I just need to say that first. If you're inside, I think it's fair for you to go out to smoke, right? Don't smoke in the house. That's just me, right? You're just gonna pollute the air. But if you're outside, I don't really care about. I'm not like Eva. I don't really care about the cigarette smoke. It's not. I'm not gonna make a whole fit about it. Smoke all how you want, right? I won't judge. Do your thing. Yeah. But if you're inside, just yeah, you know, and I'm in the room with you, especially if it's a small room. I don't know. The air is going to be polluted. I don't know. That's just me. Right, Eva had always hated the smell of cigarettes, but when she was in a bad mood, she got even more oversensitive. Yeah, I don't have a super strong hate for it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. The two of them had attempted to spend some relaxed time smoking until they made it to the island, but they had gotten yelled at and chased out onto the deck. Which, to be fair, I feel like they should have done from the beginning, though. I feel like if you're gonna smoke cigarettes, you go onto the deck of the ship or the boat anyway. That's just me though. I feel like that just common courtesy, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe you guys have a different opinion on that. Hideyoshi tried to use his lighter, but it didn't go well with all of the strong winds on the deck. Rudolph took out a Zippo with a stylish gesture and let Hideyoshi borrow the flame. What the hell is a Zippo? Can y'all let me know what a Zippo is? Is that some sort of ultra lighter?
秀吉兄さんはいつ頃からタバコ
戦後すぐや
After the war? Okay, this is 1986. Wow, you've been smoking for 40 years! Woo! How old is Hideyoshi? I didn't... Wait, is Hideyoshi that old? The war was 40 years ago! Isn't... Umineko's in 1986, yeah, it is! This is October 3rd, 1986. The war ended in 1945. Unless they're talking about a separate war, that's 40 years ago. I mean, let's say he started smoking when he was 20, right? And so let's say that happened 40 years ago. So he's currently 60 years old. He's managed to keep up his appearance well for being a 60-year-old man, right? He's a 60. Let's say he's a 60-year-old man. Not bad. Not bad that he looks like that. I would have expected him to be younger. Like, if you asked me to guess Hideyoshi's age, I would have gone like 48 or something. He's 60? Okay. I mean, if he was 50 and it's just after the war, that means he began smoking when he was 10. And I feel like that's just unrealistic. Unless I'm crazy. But to be fair, I do have people telling me that they started smoking when they were as young as 14. So maybe. Although, we do know that Natsu's been married for decades, right? She's been married to Cross for decades. So the ages are interesting regarding them. Because, yeah, I mean, Natsu has to be at least 50 years old. Cross has to be really, really old by now. Eva and Rudolph as well, they have to be pretty old. Rosa is significantly younger than the rest. So I can see Rosa being in her 30s, right? Not as old as the rest were like 50, right? I can see that. I think I can see that. And yeah, I guess George is 20 years old. If they're 50, yeah, that makes sense. Jessica. But apparently, Nazi struggled to deliver for a long time, right? That was one of the things that hurt her and Cross, was that they struggled to give birth to a child, right? They were having problems with that, which a lot of families do. I actually know families in real life that actually they want babies, but they're struggling. They're not getting pregnant. They actually struggle with that. That's an actual serious issue. I know people will laugh, but that's a serious issue. That's a whole thing. Just some people aren't perfectly compatible that way, or I don't know. Different bodies work differently, and that's just how it is. That's just biology. Other times it's extremely easy. That's just how it works. I think Natsu and Cross were having those problems, and that's part of the reason why it brought shame to the eldest sibling when Eva gave birth to George first, before Jessica was born. That was a whole thing, that I believe. That was a whole topic. They talked about it in episode 1, right? Because that's when Natsu had a lot of screen time. I think it was around episode 1, like in the middle times when they were talking about the family. But it's been a while. Again, it's been a while since episode 1. Forgive me.
最初はタバコを転がしとってな自分の売り物に手をつけてしまったわけや
じゃあ姉貴と会った時にはもう吸ってたわけだ姉貴には随分やめろやめろと言われたでしょ
わしが聞く耳持たんもんだからあれももうすっかり諦めよったやはり男は強情でなくてはあかんな
I watched a funny clip of it was a funny clip of, I think it was a TikTok. I don't know. I don't really use TikTok, so whenever I see TikToks, it's usually linked to me. And I got linked this clip, this really funny clip where a guy was looking at the camera and he said that, oh, my wife told me to get more in touch with my feminine side. So I decided to ignore her all day for absolutely no reason. I decided to just ignore her. I really that made me laugh. That was a funny joke. That was a real funny joke. Okay. Anyway, this just reminded me of that when he said that men have gotta be stubborn. That just made me laugh. I got in touch with my feminine side, so I ignored her. Alright. Hideyoshi laughed heartily, but Rudolph chuckled. After being scolded by Eva and told to smoke outside, they had dejectedly fled to the deck together. There was almost no doubt he was under her thumb. Dang, you tell me Eva's the dominant...
普段はそこまで短気じゃないんや。
You tell me Eva's the dominant one in that relationship? I can see that. Eva's a very, very dominant woman. She's very, I mean, she's also bad-mannered at times. I cannot easily forgive her for what she said to Shannon that one time. Alright, calling her worthless. I mean, I guess she was being overprotective of her child, if you wanna see it that way, but I don't know, man. Those were some rude words she gave Shannon. Yeah. Sometimes she has a mouth. She has a mouth, okay? Sometimes she can say some things that aren't necessarily great.
いや、普段はもっと温和なおとなしい女なんやで。毎年毎年この日になると人が変わりよるんや。
I kind of noticed that when you two were banging, Hideyoshi, in episode 1, before you two died, the way she was talking to you, she was being very gentle, I want to say. It felt very different from the way she was talking otherwise during that day. She was being very gentle, like, hey Hideyoshi, wanna go to, I believe, Maldives? Wanna go to the Maldives together? We can hang out, have our own honeymoon, right? We don't have to worry about George, he's a grown-up now. She was being very calm, being very gentle. I noticed that, but I didn't pay too much mind to it, but I did notice that, Hideyoshi. Maybe it has something to do with meeting her family and the whole thing with inheriting the gold that makes her act up like that. Maybe.
そうなんですか？俺らがよく知る昔からの姉貴そのものに見えますがね。
Well, maybe she has a special relationship with Hideyoshi. He is her husband after all. Although, you are her brother, so, I mean, both of you should know her well, but...
そうや。後ろ宮家のエヴァに戻るんや。
I see.
でも、それはわしと一緒のエヴァとは違うんや。
Okay, different relationship with her husband. Okay, I can see that.
まあ、カリカリする気持ちもわかります。今回の親族会議は面倒だ。
めんどくせえ。
そうやな。あのクラウス兄さんから金を脅し取ろうっちゅう計画や。親族会議なんて名ばかりの、これはただの兄弟喧嘩や。
With the family conference ahead of them, the three siblings excluding Cross had made a secret contract. Each of them had a pressing situation to deal with and urgently needed a lot of money. And the only one who could help them was Cross, who spoke for the Ushiromi head since Kinzo was shut up in his study. They had long felt that Cross had started taking advantage of Kinzo's loss of interest in his own wealth, and was embezzling that wealth for his own use. When everything had been going well for the siblings, even though they had found it detestable, they had pretended not to notice. But now that they needed money, they couldn't just quietly accept that. Eva had called Rudolph and Rosa into an alliance, and they were planning to exploit that knowledge in order to draw money out of Cross. What? Hey! I got a trophy! I think I got a trophy for clicking 30,000 times. I've clicked 30,000 times. I've done this 30,000 times. I've done that 30,000 times. That was number 30,001 right there. Wow. Damn. 30,000 clicks. That's a lot of reading. Okay, Rudolph Kim, both you and I are company presidents. We are responsible for the livelihood of our employees.
ローザも社長ですよ。ま、道楽ですね。
そうやな、失礼。つまりわしらは誰もが背負うものを持っとるっちゅうことや。
俺も幹部連中の前で単価を切った以上、土下座しても泥をすすってでも金を引っ張ってこなきゃ。
お互い様や。わしもわしを信じてついてきてくれた社員たちを裏切れん。それこそクラウス兄さんの首根っこをひっつかんででも金を引っ張り出さんといかんのや。
兄貴は昔っから兄貴とは犬猿だ。その兄貴と全面対決しなくちゃならねえんだから、そりゃカリカリもするだろうよ。
やっぱりエヴァはクラウス兄さんとは昔から仲が悪かったんか。
本人話しませんか。そりゃもう盛大に。
昔の話は聞いても話してくれんのや。思い出したい話がないんやろな。
姉貴は昔っから容量も良くて頭が良かった。成績も良かった。それに比べ兄貴は盆栽だった。ただそばにいるだけでも十分にプレッシャーだった。兄貴はわざわざそれを誇示して兄貴を追い詰めていた。
アホやな。なんでそない敵外心むき出しで追い詰めるんや。そういうのは容量がいいとは言わん。
確かに兄貴は女に生まれたことを悔やんでた。だから男というだけの理由で当主を継ぐことが決まっている兄貴が、だからことあるごとに自分の方が優秀であると親父に誇示していた。
I know this is Japan, 1986, but this day and age, you know, if you don't identify as a woman, she has every chance to be a trans man, absolutely. And then that's how it is out here in this day and age. So it's 2022. Go on, Eva, do your thing. Although by now she's a really old woman. If Eva's still alive now, she'd be really. I mean, obviously we know she dies in the conference. What am I talking about? But let's say Beato never did her stuff, and Eva did live. Eva would be really, really old now. Yeah, but I don't think it's as much about her caring about being born a woman, more so about wanting to become the family lead. Similar to how this has been such a big controversy in One Piece. This is one of the biggest controversy for the dumbest reasons. But similar to how Yamato was born a woman, but because she idolizes a man, she says she wants to be a man, and so there's this whole war in the community, right? This whole war about whether Yamato is a trans man or whether Yamato is a woman, and it's ridiculous. People have been fighting for years. The River card specified that she was female, but then people are like, no, because it's not written by Oda. He only supervises it, and people they're fighting each other big time. But basically, yeah, people argue that Yamato doesn't actually identify as a man. She just identifies with a person that just happens to be a man. Similar to how, so that's why I'm just comparing this situation to that situation where Eva doesn't necessarily identify as a man. She just wants to be a man because it's advantageous for her, basically, right? Because I feel like we do need to make that sort of difference. Although you can be whoever you want, in my opinion. I don't really care. I'm not gonna stop you, but I feel like there is a distinction between identifying as someone because you identifying as something because you identify as that thing, rather than identifying as it because, let's say, you idolize a person just because they happen to be that thing, or because in the social aspect of it, you succeed in, let's say the inheritance, for example. Um, right? I think that's it. Which then I guess you could talk about arguing for equality between the genders. There's that whole thing. I mean, I don't want to get into discussion now. You get the point. We're not gonna turn all. How do I put it? Would you say this is political? In a way, it's political. So I don't want to turn all the way that way. Everyone has different opinions. Honestly, if you want my opinion on the Yamato situation, by the way, I don't care. Trans man or not, I don't care. Yamato's a cool character. She's gonna join the Straw Hats. Yes, I use she, her pronouns. A lot of people hate that. A lot of people talk about using he, him pronouns for Yamato. I don't care. If you use he, him, I'm not gonna budge an eye to it and tell you you're wrong. I don't care. I just use she, her because that's what I've always used. I don't know, okay? I don't really know what to tell you. I know she was also in the men's bath. So that's another thing. She actually bathed with the men. Which caused more controversy. I don't care. I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It makes me angry because I don't like how the community's getting all angry over something so pointless. Why are we getting angry over a fictional character? Why is that such a big deal? I don't know how it's like in the Japanese community, but I guarantee you, Japanese people don't aren't making this as big of a deal as Western people are making it. I can guarantee you, right? Because for them, it's not as big of a deal. Now, because us in the West, we're more, how do I put it? We've become this, how to put it, free, I guess, right? Especially USA with liberalism, right? Capitalism, with this free people or whatever. You can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. That's the sort of antics we're going with now, right? The sort of mindset. Be whoever you want. You're free to do whatever you want. That's the sort of thing. That's the sort of mindset. And Japan doesn't have that, right? Necessarily. It's different. I'm sure, right? The culture is different. So they obviously don't make it such a big deal. But when it comes to One Piece, we already have trans rep in One Piece. We have trans rep. Kiku is a trans woman. Morley is a trans woman, okay? She's a trans. That's clear as day, okay? So it's not like we don't have trans people in One Piece. It's not like they don't exist. They exist, and sure, they're not main characters. People want them to, because Yamato's gonna join the Straw Hats, right? So people want, oh my god, a main character that is transgender joining the main crew, being one of the main characters. That would be huge, right? Oh my god, but it's not the biggest deal ever. Although one of the best parts about the crew is that they're all diverse and stuff, right? You have a fish man, you have a whole skeleton, okay? You have a woman that is the sole survivor of an entire island of people that suffered a genocide, essentially. you have a woman that, let's see, you have a woman that was born in the middle of a war, an orphan, don't even know who her parents are, okay? You have a guy with a long nose that loves lying, but then his lies become true. Like he lies in chapter 40 or something, and then that lie becomes true in chapter 800. It's unbelievable. You have a guy that is a superhuman, and he has a whole exoskeleton. Okay, comes from a family of superhumans, but then was rejected out. I can. We have a whole. The main character of One Piece is a whole condom. He's a whole condom. He's made of rubber. Okay, I mean, that's enough said. Okay, the crew is so diverse. All right, the backgrounds. Everyone has their own backgrounds. Whatever. We have a cyborg. How did I not mention the cyborg? A guy who literally modified his body to be a robot in the crew. I mean, I'm leaving it there. I'm leaving it there. Whatever. Alright. She wanted to boast to Dad that she was superior. Okay, great.
お父さんは古いタイプのお人や。男女には差別的な価値観を持っとった。
Oh, so even Hideyoshi's admitting that it's old-fashioned. This is 1986 Japan, and he's saying it's old-fashioned. Interesting. Nice. Interesting. Okay.
自己顕示の強いエヴァは少々嫌われてたんとちゃうか。
Right. Okay, we're going back to the past.
ないのも味気ないが、過ぎれば紅茶の味わいを大いに損なう。
Okay. What are we going for here? What's the analogy here? Since you can still drink black tea without sugar, it was exactly the same as saying that study was unnecessary for a woman. Oh! Oh! Oh, now I see it! Oh, wow, that hurts more. That hurts more than I thought. Hey, nah. Study was not necessary. And then too much of it. How is too much of it bad? Hey! Nah, educate everyone. Educate every human. Man, woman, what are you... Gross, what is this? What is this take? Everyone should be educated. Nothing wrong with being educated. Too much of it. How can you be too educated? That makes no sense. Get out of here with that. What? Oh. I was gonna say though, I have family members that like to drink tea without sugar, which is interesting. I like to pour a bit of sugar, an average amount, not too much, not too little, I guess. I do like my tea. You guys remember the tea party? I drank some tea, right? I poured some sugar in that too, but not too much, not too little, average amounts. Yeah, but I do have family members that don't drink sugar, that drink black tea without sugar at all, which I don't really get. There's no taste, but they like it that way. Those infuriating words were ones that my older brother had abused me with when I had been in despair, wanted to go to college but denied by father. Oh, so we're seeing this in the perspective of Eva. Oh! Wait, why is Eva getting so much spotlight here? That's interesting. I had protested that advancing to college was essential if I was to acquire the education and class befitting the eldest daughter of the Ishiromiya family. But the replies I received from father and my brother were, in summary, exactly the same. How conceited for a woman. Since the time I was born into the Ishiromiya family, I hadn't taken that name lightly even once. And furthermore, nor had I ever taken lightly father's name, Ishiromiya Kinzo. It was an old family with a long history, but it had lost all its wealth and its business in the Great Kanto earthquake and almost sank for a time. Then father, with his ingenious talent, had taken control and revived it to be even greater than it had been before. I hadn't forgotten even once what it meant to be the daughter of that great Ishiromiya Kinzo. Therefore, I had always made every effort to become worthy of that name. Class worthy of the Ishiromiya family, schooling, manners, and leadership. Even if I was far from reaching father's level, I deepened my knowledge in economics and finance and tried to improve myself so that I could help out with that at any time. However, in the end, there never came a time when father acknowledged that. To father, a woman was only meant to support a man and nothing further than that was permissible. I wonder when it was that I understood that. I probably understood ever since I was a young girl, but to truly accept it, I had to wait until I had grown up. Compared to my own effort, you couldn't have set that cross as my older brother by 2 years tried at all to become deserving of the Ishiromiya family name. Oh, okay, so Cross is older than her by 2 years. Okay, so they're really close. They're really close to each other. As far as I'm aware, Rudolph is also not that far off them, but Rose is the one that sticks out as being significantly younger than the rest, right? ever since we were young, my brother kept saying that it was natural that he'd succeed father just because he was born a man. He kept repeating that as though it were an absolute gap between us. I couldn't stand it. Even though I always got better grades than my brother, even though I became class president while he stuck as vice president of his class, even so, my brother was considered to be the appropriate person to succeed the Ishinomiya family just because he was a man. Of course, you could get away with gender discrimination in those days. No, it was even considered a virtue in those days. It was a time when women were looked down upon, and it was said that when a woman is born, she is to obey her parents. When she gets married, she is to obey her husband, and when she gets old, she is to obey her children. That's rough. That's rough. Okay. I wanna speak on this a bit. I do like how this visual novel is taking many different sides that someone can certainly relate to in a way, right? I feel like me being a youngest sibling, I could really relate to Rosa, right? But I can also relate to Battler in many ways. I feel like if you're a woman, you can relate to this a lot. I don't. I know I don't. But I know a lot of people could. And I like that. I like how this visual novel takes a lot of different sides. And I believe the writer was also social. He worked as a social worker or something like that. So he knows about these concepts a lot. And I like how it's just showcasing different societal and different social things based on how you were born and where you were born, and I guess your standing, right? Because everyone has their own thing going on, and I like that, right? I like that. One thing I do like is that it shows it to me, even if I can't relate to it directly. The fact that it shows it to me and helps me sympathize with it, right? Helps me sympathize with Eva, even though I can't relate to it, right? I don't need to relate to it, okay? Relating to Rosa, relating to Battler, that's enough, right? I don't need to relate to every character. As long as it makes me understand them, that's all that really matters, right? And I like that. I like that it's showing different sides here. I'm sure Cross has his own side. I'm sure Rudolph has his own side, and Kiriya and Hideyoshi and all of them. We've seen Natsui's side, of course. We've seen how she sees it. Alright. But because that way of thinking existed, I wanted to overturn it. Innocently, I kept trying to prove that I was the most fit. However, eventually I realized that all of my efforts were doomed from the beginning.
女の学力は紅茶の砂糖にも似ていると思わないかね。ないのも味気ないが、過ぎれば紅茶の味わいを大いに損なう。
それはどういう意味よ、兄さん。
男には男にしか務められないことがあるように、女とて女にしか務められないことがあるんじゃないかね。子を産み育て一家の主を支えるのは女でなければできぬ務めだと思うんだね。
I think the only thing out of those that is true is giving birth, I guess. And in a lot of cases supporting their husband. But like I said, in this day and age, a man can also support their husband. That's possible in this day and age. And I guess in that same argument, a man can also be giving birth to children. Damn, that's rough. But raising them, yeah, that's everyone can do that. I think we can all agree on that much at least. Alright.
女には勉強や仕事をする必要がないと言いたいの？
I really like how Eva's voice actress sounds so young and different here, right? She almost sounds like Rosa in a way. She almost sounds like Rosa, but no, I can tell the distinct voice of Eva. She just doesn't sound her classic, oh yeah, like that sort of voice. I like this. They should only for a woman to do things like work and study. I don't know. I think no matter who you are, education can never hurt, right? Learning language, culture, academics, right? Science, learning that stuff, I think it can never hurt. No matter who you are, how old you are, it can't hurt, right? Learning different ologies, that's only a good thing.
そこまでは言わんよ。
Okay, even Cross wouldn't go that far. He's like, okay, nah. Listen, education is good, right? But come on now.
無学な女など話していても疲れるだけだ。
Uncultured, unschooled.
だが、あまり頭が良すぎる女はもっと疲れる。
Why? What does too smart mean? What's wrong with being too smart? There's no such thing.
お前のように自己主張の激しい女では、未来の夫もさぞや苦労すると思うのだがね。
So Cross desires this innocent, non-assertive woman. Okay. No, Natsu's not even that. Well, Natsu's not that either, necessarily. I think Natsu does a decent job at asserting herself. That's just my opinion. I thought she was a decently independent woman, if you ask me. So I wonder, Cross marrying her. I'm just saying. I don't know.
女は結婚して夫の陰にいろとそう言いたいの？余計なお世話よ。
お前が親父殿を尊敬していて、その娘としてふさわしくありたいと思う気持ちは、私にも尊敬できることだ。
My bad. I thought he had to be done talking.
気持ち悪い。何が私よ。
Watashi, neutral, polite eye. Okay.
この間まで俺だったくせに。
You've always used ore. Rough, casual eye. Okay.
もう党首気取りなの？
I really pretended to be the head? Ah, I see. Doesn't Battler use ore? I think Battler uses ore. Now he's being more polite and using watashi. Got it.
当主は私が継ぐことに最初から決まっている。
I see.
にもかかわらず、お前は自分も当主になれるかのように錯覚して、無駄かつ暴走した努力をしているに過ぎんのだよ。
暴走した努力ですって。私が大学院に進みたいと言い出すのがそんなにもおかしいっていうの？
ああ、おかしいね。お前は確かに栄光ある後宮家の長女だよ。やがてはその家紋を背負って、父にとって最も価値ある相手と婚約することになるだろう。
What's wrong with a woman getting a degree again? Right, women that are too smart are problematic. Right, okay. Got it, Cross.
だが、そこで求められるのは過剰な学識ではない。
Honestly, I'll take this. At least Cross gets his own level of screen time here. I'll take this. Even if it's relegated to Eva's past, I'll take this. More cross time to understand him. Cool, I'll take it. What will be demanded of you then is not an excess of knowledge.
夫をいたわる優しい気持ちと家事能力、そして一家の長を立てる控えめな態度だ。お前にはそれが完全に欠落している。それは後宮家の礼状として果たしてふさわしいことなのかね。
Okay, so very traditional ideas here. Got it.
私は真相の令状のつもりなんかないわよ。お父様の仕事を手伝ってあげられる最高の人間でありたいと思っただけよ。
ならそれは後宮家令嬢としてふさわしくあるべきではないのかね。お前ときたらなんだね。いい年をして未だに男勝りで、家事炊事はおろか、男を喜ばせる化粧一つ身につけていないじゃないか。
That last line is crazy, bro. That last line is crazy. Even for you, Cross. Yo! I'll shut up about it, but whoa!
最近は喧嘩の稽古までしてると言うじゃないかね。
Oh my god. You never wear any makeup to please men? That line is crazy. Alright. Oh.
失礼な。
That was... Oh.
喧嘩じゃないわよ。武道は心の修練に最適なのよ。それに叱るべき場に出るときは十分女として気を使ってるわよ。何が言いたいのよ。女は男に仕える奴隷であれと、しゃしゃり出るなと、そう言いたいわけ？
それを認めるのはエレガントではないが、お前の勘違いを正すには少々毒のある言葉も必要かと思うよ。だから言い切ろう。女は男に仕えるために存在する。
This reminds me of the whole furniture concept that Beato and Kinzo have. They have furniture that serve them, right? Kinzo has Kanon, Shannon, Kimosawa, Genji, right? And Lunon as well, Goda. And then Beato has her goats, and she has the 7 stakes. And Battler for a time. But I've stopped! I've gone back to the good side. So yeah, I wonder if there's the little women exist to serve men, and then there's furniture that serve their masters.
そして男は女を養うために存在する。女の仕事は男の背中を守り、家庭を守って子を育てることだ。
To protect a man's back? Why does that remind me of Jessica and Kanon? Right? Kanon was about to get God in the back, right? In the spine. But instead Jessica came and got her spine instead. So she kind of protected Kanon's back there. I don't know. Probably a random connection I made there. We'll move.
それは本来言葉で気づかされることではない。おのずと気づくことだ。しかしお前はいくつになってもそれを自覚しなかったな。だから社会に出る前に兄である私がその誤解を解くのだよ。感謝してほしいものだね。
それは全ての女への侮辱よ。いえ、私は自分のことを女だと思ったことなどないし、女だからと甘えたことなど一度もない。
It really is interesting how the writer here is criticizing different aspects of society, not just this whole woman-man thing, this traditional mindset, but even in the previous episodes he was criticizing different aspects of society. And I guess as a social worker you know a lot about that, and all of these criticisms are fair. Now that I think about it, they are fair. I get it. It's cool. I think it's cool.
私のどこが兄さんに劣っているというの？成績も経歴も何もかも私の方が勝っていて、ただ男である以上の何も持たない兄さんが私の何を見下せるっていうのよ。
身の程をわきまえているか否かだよ。私は次の当主としての心構えを日々養っている。それは将来必ず必要になることだ。だがお前は違う。嫁ぎ後ろ宮の席を失うことが決まっているくせに、見る必要のない幻を見ている。何がそんなに不満なんだ。仮に男に生まれようとも当主を継ぐのはお前ではないだろうに。お前は何がそんなにも不満で私に突っかかってくるのか。
何が不満かですって？兄さんはいつも自分は当主跡継ぎだからと私を見下して、そのくせ
What's so unsatisfying, he says? A billion grudges, hard feelings, humiliations that I'll never forget crossed through the back of my mind. And all of them built up at the same time, coming out of my throat as nothing more than a shameful moan.
何事か想像し、沈黙を尊ぶのは神だけではないぞ。
お父さん。
お父様。
Our sibling fight was probably overheard. Father entered with a clearly displeased face.
クラウス、また兄弟喧嘩か。お前にはなぜに弟や妹たちを率いる貫禄が宿らぬのか。情けない。長男が聞いては切れるぞ。
In a flash, he struck Krause's face. I prepared myself to be struck in the same way, but I wasn't hit. Oh! Really? I expected him to hit Eva as well.
申し訳ありませんお父さん
お前に足りぬのは貫禄だけではない。まだまだ足りぬ。何もかもが未熟だ。にもかかわらず一人前を気取っておる。それを語るには100年早いことを肝に銘じ、研鑽に努めよ。わしをこれ以上息子の不出来で嘆かせるでないぞ。
はいお父さんの後を継ぐにふさわしい人間になれるようさらに努力します
It was as if those words were directed at me. Even when he was being yelled at by father, he was still bragging to me about how he was special, about how he was the successor. I just couldn't stand it and finally spoke what was on my mind. Even though I realized that this was improper for a person of the Shiromiya family.
お父様、教えてください。私の何が劣っているというのですか？私はお父様の名に恥じない人間になれるよう、今日まであらゆる勉強と努力を重ねてまいりました。どうか私にも何が劣っているのかお教えください。私はこれ以上何を身につけたならお父様に認めていただけるのですか？
You see, you were not born. You were just born fundamentally different.
またその話か。お前には何度言えばわかるのだ。お前に期待していることなど何もない。
Damn. That's worse than having high expectations. Someone that has no expectations for you is worse than someone having too high expectations. Like, bro,
女は女らしく料理や裁縫を学んでおればいい。貴様には女の心構えがないのだ。夫に仕えようとする気心が男に尽くそうという海外しさが全く感じられぬ。
So, now that I'm seeing this, and especially Krauss in this, I'm thinking about Jessica. I can see why her and Krauss are on bad terms. I can see that. The way Krauss thinks about women, and the way Jessica obviously doesn't act very, at least in their view of, gender roles, doesn't act very ladylike, right? She doesn't use the proper I in Japanese, right? She's in a more masculine I, and Krauss has scolded Jessica for that, and so is Natsu, to be fair. They don't see her as a proper daughter of the family. Very interesting there. With Jessica, that does add up there. Yeah, okay. And George is so and the way George comes in too into the fray. The family dynamics are so they're so good. Okay. We'll continue on. And the way George fell in love with Shannon. And Shannon. My brain just boofed there. Eva's words to Shannon makes more sense now. I still don't think they're okay, but it makes more sense now. Because even though Shannon's a furniture, Shannon acts ladylike. She acts, she's this maid that can serve a husband, and she's not very assertive. She can be smart, but not too smart, right? Maybe Eva sees Shannon as that perfect fit, but because she's furniture, she decided to attack her, right? She sees that Shannon is this exemplary woman that in this society, in their family, is what a woman should be. So Eva probably saw that in Shannon and got angry at her for it, right? Probably why Eva treats Shannon really badly. That does add up now. Kind of like projecting. She's projecting there. Man, Man, the character relationships and dynamics are getting deeper and deeper with each episode, man. I like how every episode we focus on different characters too. I mean, we're always focusing on Battler, but episode 2 we heavily focused on Rosa, right? Episode 1 we focused on Nazi. Now is it gonna be the Eva episode? But episode 2 we also focused on Shannon. We focused on Shannon a lot too. Shannon had heavy focus. Same Canon a bit, right? Canon and Jessica had a bit of focus. Jessica had some focus. George a tiny bit. Episode 3 I think we're gonna get more Eva focus. I'm hoping now, like right now, we're getting more Cross focus. Because they deserve it. Eva and Cross deserve this focus. Episode 1 we got Nazi focus. We're still lacking Hideyoshi and Kirie, especially Kirie focus. I'm sure we'll get more Rudolph focus. I saw Rudolph with that gun in the opening, so Rudolph with the gun, I'm expecting more from Rudolph in the future. And if you're gonna see more of Rudolph, naturally you're gonna see more of Kirie. Just like now, if you're gonna see more of Eva, I'm sure we'll see more of Hideyoshi. The story is building itself in a good way, I think. Good. We're getting more focus on all characters, and I think that's great. I think that's great.
何のための女なのか。後ろ宮家の令嬢であることを自覚しておるのか。なのに学びたがることは男の真似事ばかり。お前の役割はクラウスの真似事ではないのだぞ。お前には自らの役割が分かっているのか。
私は後ろ宮家の人間として
Slap!
お父様の名に恥ずかしくない。
He probably slapped her.
その時点でもう間違っておるわ。
Okay, no physical violence just yet, I don't think.
貴様の役割は家を出て嫁ぎ、わしにとって有益な男を連れてくることだ。そして夫に尽くし、子を産み増やせ。
Yo! That last line is crazy again. Oh my god. Be fruitful and multiply? That's how you see her? That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine seeing someone that's just... Oh, I'm leaving it there. Yo, that's crazy.
夫の一族に褒めたたえられる良妻であれ。
That's crazy. Be fruitful and multiply? Oh, that's great. That's some crazy. That's crazy to say, yo.
お前に男を喜ばせる何ができるというのか。茶の作法があるというのか。料理の才能があるというのか。何もない。お前がやっているのはみんなクラウスの真似事ばかりではないか。後ろ宮家はクラウスが継ぐ。お前がそれに不満を唱えるというのなら、それはこの私に逆らうということだ。お前は我が娘でありながら父の言うことを聞けぬというのか。出て行け。感動だ。お前に後ろ宮など語らせん。感動だ感動だ。
He was sick already then?
お父さん、しっかり落ち着いてください。源氏さん、水を持ってきてもらえますか。
はい、ただいま。
エヴァ、席を外せ。本心ではないさ。私がなだめておく。
感動だ。私の言うことが危険なら感動だ。
Interesting to me how Cross stood up for Eva a little bit there, saying, Eva, leave. He doesn't mean what he says. As if Cross does care about Eva, I feel like. He does. He does. Especially because Kinzo scolded Cross about being a bad older brother, right? Cross, at the end of the day, values himself as an older brother and does care about his siblings. I don't think he's completely heartless. Yes, he has this view of her as a woman and stuff, but I don't think he completely doesn't value her at all. I just want to say that. As father struggled with a fit of heavy coughs, my brother patted his back, as if that were naturally his duty. It was so vexing for me then to let him monopolize that duty. If I approach father carelessly, I will probably be hit again. However, I fearlessly tried to approach father's back. Genji blocked me.
エヴァ様、今は席をお外しになられた方が良いでしょう。親方様は今日はご機嫌がよくありません。
でも
なぜに私の息子たちはこうも不出来なのか。
Speaking of incompetent, let's talk about this certain incompetent person in red truth.
クラウスは貫禄が足りず、エヴァはいつまで経ってもじゃじゃ馬だ。
Stubborn tomboy.
男らしい男はおらず、女らしい女もいない。私の育て方がいつどこでどう間違ったのか。なぜだ源氏、私は何をいつどこでどう間違えたというのか。
親方様は何もお間違いになってはおりません。クラウス様はたくましいご子息に、エヴァ様は麗しいご令嬢に成長されました。何もお間違いにはなっておりません。
あれのどこが麗しいというのか。淑女どころか男の真似事ばかり。感動だ、感動だ。
お父さん、それは私からよくエヴァに言い聞かせたところです。エヴァもこれからは心を入れ替えてレディーとして振る舞うと約束してくれました。どうかもう少しの猶予をいただけませんか。
何がレディーだ。感動だ、感動だ。
Lie down, mate. Who cares about your foot or disinherited? Lie down, chill out, drink some water, bro. Leave the discussion of your children after you're healthier again. Go quickly and I'll handle this for you. Cross gave me a look telling me that. Did I take the wrong path, just like father and my brother had said? Do I end it there, just like I'm currently saying? I want to see something, guys. 1 second. I think I'm gonna plan to end it now, though. I just want to see what time it is. I'm back. Let's quick. I'm back. Don't leave me. Wait. I left the door closed. 1 second. Ah! Don't worry, I'm here. Go, chill. Wait. Okay. Alright, okay. I think I'm gonna end there. I want to check the time. I've been recording for about an hour. I think that's good then. We'll continue on next time. More Eva shenanigans, I'm sure, or something, right? We're gonna follow on with Eva's little backstory, I guess you wanna call it. I guess so. I like to call character flashbacks backstories, basically, or flashbacks. I think they both work. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Umineko when they cry. I pleasantly enjoyed it. Did not expect to sympathize with Eva like this. While I don't relate to her, right? And I mean, I don't relate to Cross either. I don't relate with any of them. Anyone here. I don't relate with Kinzo, Cross, or Eva. I'm not born in this rich family who has to unsully the name of whatever family I'm from, honestly. My parents, while they have expectations of me, they don't have extremely high expectations of me to either be manly or not manly. I don't I think I'm good there. But you know, must be rough to be Cross or Eva. I would not. I mean, being rich is great, but honestly, I don't think I'd like to be born into the Ushiroma family. I think I'm very grateful where I am right now. Uh, you know, although yeah, I may not be. I may be more on the poorer side than the richer side. I think I'm good there, right? If I was on the richer side, if I was on the richer side, I'd buy a much better setup to record these videos. That's for sure. But I'm not. I don't have the money to do that. That's why I'm working. Uh, so, anyway, I think this is. I think this has been a very good part. I think again this solidifies the my perception of the great character dynamics and interactions in this visual novel, and how fantastic they've always been. Cross, Eva, and and Kinzo. I just think is great. I want to see more from Cross, of course, but see more from Eva, I'll take it as well. And yeah, it does start it does start to explain why Eva acts this way during the family conference, and the way she acts towards Nazi, the way she acts towards Shannon. That things start making a bit more sense. Yeah, but then I wonder, after all this, what does Eva think of Jessica then? What does Eva think of Jessica? Does she really only see Jessica as just, oh, George's rival, right? Because Jessica, in some ways, is kind of like her in the past. In some ways, not in every way. Jessica's a distinct character. There are differences, right? But in the she is also similar to Eva, more rebellious and doesn't listen to her parents, right? And isn't very ladylike. That they have that similarity, but they're also different. They are also different, right? Jessica wants a boyfriend really badly. Well, Jessica is more okay. This is the difference. This is the similarity and differences between Jessica and Eva. But I do wonder what Eva's opinions are on Jessica, considering this. So the similarity is obviously like that they're both not very ladylike, at least in their perception of it. Whatever you wanna count as ladylike, whatever. They, okay. I'm speaking from the character in the visual novel, okay? It's from Kinzo and Cross's perspective. So I'm not saying this out of my own words. Don't take these words as something I believe in, okay? So when I say this, don't don't take it out of context and call me, okay? All right. So in their own words, Jessica and Eva aren't really fit to serve men, right? And serve their husbands. Um, so that's the similarity between them, right? They both use masculine words, or at least Jessica does. Eva hasn't been specified to do that, but she's very masculine in her demeanor, right? She doesn't cook, she doesn't sew, right? She's trying to get good grades, she wants to go to college, etc. But the big distinction between them, between Eva and Jessica, despite those similarities, the big distinction is that Eva is doing the things she's doing, and her big motivation is that she doesn't want to solely the Ushiroma family name, right? She wants to hold pride in that and be a good daughter of the Ushiroma family. Kinzo obviously doesn't care about that. Doesn't want her to. Kinzo wants her to marry to a man worthy of her, and he wants her to change her name from Ushiromiya to a man that is then gonna be beneficial to him, right? He doesn't care about her getting about her being a great daughter for the Ushiroma family, in the sense that, oh yeah, she'll be an exemplary person. Nah, she's just gonna marry another guy and change name, whatever. Okay. Although that didn't end up happening because Hideyoshi ended up changing his name, so shame on him. I don't know. Um, and yeah, that's the distinction. And Jessica's more like, she doesn't care about the Ishirome family, right? She said this multiple times. She doesn't care about this family. The family is dumb. The epitaph is dumb. The Beatrice is dumb. All of it is dumb, right? She just wants to be a normal girl who goes to school and gets some friends and have some fun. She wants to live in the city, right? She doesn't want to live in this island. She wants to go out there and have some fun. That is the distinction, right? She doesn't care about being this exemplary daughter for the Shurima family. Eva wants to be this daughter that's perfect for the Shurima family, that's independent and strong and smart. But Cross and Kins are saying, don't be too smart, you don't need to do that, just serve man, be ladylike, whatever. Jessica just wants to be an average, normal girl who lives in the city and just has her fun, right? Does stuff, get married to an average guy, I'm sure. Doesn't want to live in this island. That's a big distinction. So the similarities are there, but their motivation for having those similarities are different. Jessica's motivations are different from Eva's motivations. But I still wonder how Eva sees Jessica. I'm actually interested. Because they haven't interacted much. They have not. Nazi's interacted with Eva, and Eva has made fun of Nazi for the way Jessica has been as a daughter. She has made fun of Nazi for that, but she hasn't. She did that just to annoy Nazi. I want to see her actual opinions on Jessica. Same thing with yeah, yeah. Same thing with Cross. And then there's George gets in the mix. That's yeah. Basically the family dynamics in this visual novel is I think is great. I think it's really genius. Um, and I'm sure we'll see more of it. I want to see more from Rudolph, of course. See how he is up in the family, right? Because he's got this interesting role where he's a man and he's not the youngest sibling, but he's a man. And he's not the oldest sibling, but not the youngest sibling. So Rudolph in this predicament, I think out of all of them, Rudolph is... Okay, I may be biting my tongue here, I may be talking too soon, but Rudolph is probably in the best position out of all of them. If you think about it, listen, he doesn't have the pressure of being the oldest son, okay? He's not a woman like Eva. He's not the youngest sibling or a woman like Rosa. But he's in the middle and he's a man. So Rudolph is in this interesting middle spot where I'm sure he had his own little things going on growing up. But Rudolph is in this position. And not to mention, he's the one that gave birth to our big boy protagonist. Ishiro Battler. He's the father. I think the biggest thing with Rudolph is the fact that his wife died and he remarried to Kirie. I think that's the biggest thing that plagues him, probably in the family aspect of things. But that's interesting. I wonder if you're gonna get a Rudolph backstory. And more than that, I want to know more about Kirie, because she does have a daughter separate from Rudolph. I think she has a daughter from her previous relationship. I wonder how the family sees that. Because Kirie has to take care of her daughter too. I think it was a daughter. It might have been a son. She has a child, basically. I think that's interesting. Out of all the husbands and wives out of the siblings, the one that has gotten the most showcase, or I guess the most screen time, or how to put it. Yeah, basically, it's been Nazi. She's been the one to get the most showcase, even more than her husband, who is an actual sibling. Hideyoshi's gotten a bit, not that much, but a little bit. Kirya's gotten... all Kirya has for me is flipping the chessboard and some interesting philosophical conversations here and there. So yeah. But okay, I'm gonna end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Umineko When They Cry. We'll come back next time for more shenanigans. We're not even done with chapter 1 yet of episode 3, but we'll get to it. Yeah, alright, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And yeah, peace.